Mm. Got to enjoy a hump day beer. And I'm not doing a fancy microbrew today. I decided to go all ghetto now. Doing some Carling Black Label, a 710 can, jumbo can for the pleasure of it. And no, it's not a 1 liter one. I don't get it. It's like 710 and it's under $4 for this too. Discount Buzz, everyone. Maximum humpage for maximum hump day fun. Hmm. But then on the other hand, the phrase maximum humpage, that seems a bit raunchy. I suppose I should save that for Wandering Yuki Cheese Cafe after dark. But then I'm sure that if that was the case, I would probably lose sponsored. I'd have to change my rating to rated R plus or whatever rating they use on this channel. That's probably a whole other can of worms I don't want to get into. I don't want to lose my audience. So when this episode drops, it may not necessarily be on Wednesday, just because I already have another one lined up to come. Nevertheless, I want to do a little bit more cooking with something that's really more basic. I love tuna too, but most of the times when I have tuna, I just have it in a can lightly flaked in water. Because if you were to check a grocery store for a tuna steak, it's actually pretty expensive, like just as expensive as a slice of salmon, possibly even more too. So I'd never had any experience with that. Maybe one day if I want to splurge, like if I want to splurge on filet mignon or whatever. But you know what? A ghetto can of tuna, it's inexpensive, but the way you mix up with other stuff, it can actually go a long way to make a fancy meal. And that's what I feel like doing. So let's take a look what I'm whipping up tonight. Spoiler, it's a casserole. Ooh. Choking on my beer. Man, it went down the wrong hole. That's a phrase that nobody ever wants to hear. Oops, phrasing. We're getting to After Dark territory. Okay, moving on from that. The basic casserole I like to put together for a tuna is with pasta, which is already pre-cooked, because I don't need to give instructions on how to cook pasta. It's right on the label. And if you're one of those that doesn't cook and doesn't know a thing or two about pasta, I'd say get the hell out of here. Go learn to cook that stuff. It's one of the bare necessities of life. So your basic ingredients with this is going to be the can of tuna, obviously, 2 cloves of garlic, as much zucchini as you'd want to add in here, and some mushrooms. The first thing I'm going to do is get this all sliced up and chopped, then add it into a skillet with some olive oil, because you want to have the roasted garlic scent first before you add the remaining ingredients. Hump Day Brew. So make the garlic translucent. Then you slice up your zucchini, because that's the next hardest vegetable. You want to soften that up. Then you want to soften up your mushrooms. And then lastly, throw in your pasta and your tuna, and then you're good to go. And then the only other ingredients are your choice of seasoning. But we're going to get to that later. Time to administer some beatings with a frying pan. Or at least that's what I want to say. Well, if someone want to hit over the head with this thing. Nice giant skillet, and then you'll just add your oil next. I guess I could use about 2 tablespoons equivalent for this. But I'll just eyeball and see if it's enough. Ah, yeah. This amount, it'll get the job done. So, put it on medium heat. And then let that heat up, and then once that's ready, you throw in your garlic. And then while that's sauteing, it'll give me some time to get some zucchini sliced up. I need some fuel. There we go. Yeah. Like I said, I'm feeling ghetto. No fancy shit, just some standard issue brew. Let's see. Feels pretty hot, so time to commence Operation Garlic. Let's add this all in. I know it's not fully heated up yet, but you know what? I just want to get this out of the way because I need this cutting board for my zucchini. Like I said, it's going to be the next bit. So let's get this end out, actually both ends, and then just slice it up properly so that I get some nice thin slices, and then I'll cube it up a little bit more. Funny, I never thought I would enjoy zucchini as much, but over the last few years, I've kind of enjoyed putting it either with some pasta dishes in the casserole, or heck, the number of times I grilled it on the barbecue, and it's amazing. When you oil this up pretty well too, you don't necessarily need to have it too much salt and pepper added. Just oil it up a little, and then you're good to go to blend in with flavors. Yeah. And something else I learned too. When I first had this house, I was mostly learning about what I needed in my kitchen based on whenever I had guests over. Like somehow someone brings some bread, and then I'd realize afterwards that, shoot, I don't even have a bread knife. I had gone through so many years like with just a basic paring knife and other ones that it all became kind of foreign to me, honestly. But then after that I was like, okay, I'll get it all corrected and then buy the stuff. So that's it. I kind of learned I need to have a good knife block to have this stuff done. Slicing knife goes good for vegetables. Chef's knife is like a good all-around, well-rounded, balanced knife. Bread knife is pretty good as well. Then also, I didn't realize I would have enjoyed too, a boning knife for whenever I want to get some meat to cut off the bone. I'm telling you, it's like basic things that you take for granted. Alright, the garlic looks like it's starting to brown, so that's a pretty surefire sign it's ready to add the zucchini. We've already sliced up a full zucchini. This should be more than enough for rations. And as you can see, it's really starting to sizzle up. I'll give it a nice coating of oil, and then I'll get some mushrooms set up for myself. Slice them up pretty thin so that it's not going to take too long. And then it'll soften, shrink, etc. Once I could eyeball it, then it's going to be ready to go. Well, then the next step would be the pasta and the tuna, but that's like a finishing touch. There, all my mushrooms are all sliced up pretty well. Gonna add it in. So, let's go. The way to know that these mushrooms are going to be done too is they're going to go from this white color to more of a darker hue, and they're going to be super soft because it's been cooking for a while. Once you get that, then you will know that it's time to add the pasta and the salmon. Let's see. Alright, these mushrooms are looking good. Oh, I guess if you're wondering, I have my theme playing in the background. Somehow this fits with my channel pretty well. Who would have thought? I just want to show my love of video game music. So here's the mushrooms. And now, time to add the next piece, my pasta. Penne rigata, or rigate? I gotta brush up on my Italian. Even though my only exposure was learning how to order food and drinks and asking for the bill when I was in Italy. Some people know this better than me, though. Oh, fuck on a stick. I lost the noodle. Yeah. Come on, damn it. There we are. All set to go. Oops. One runoff in the pot. Add that in, coat it up, and eventually you'll be able to do your tuna. And I might have an idea for a finishing touch to this. Herbs, but another secret flavor. Wait, it's not so secret if I tell you what it is then. Ah, screw it, I'll tell you later. There we are. Pasta's looking good. Next, 1 can of tuna to be added right here. And I made sure to drain the water from here, because I didn't want to put that in. Sometimes I feel like that when I open this up, my cats tend to get a little antsy because I feel like they're going to be getting some food. Actually, they might like the taste of tuna or the smell of it. I should put this in front of my cat's faces and then see what it's going to do. Funniest case scenario is that you're going to see me like a cartoon. Like, I'll put my hand down, and when I lift it up, my cat will be hanging onto it by his mouth. Seems to be wandering a bit. Felix, what do you smell? He probably smells salmon juice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta wash my hands. Yeah. Looking pretty good over here right now. So I think it's time to get the final ingredients in. I was considering putting some garlic powder in here, but there's already the real thing. Why do I need to put dry garlic when I got fresh garlic with all its juices? I'll just sprinkle a little bit of basil. There. Every kitchen needs to have basil in there. It's not even a question. And then for a final touch, I'm going to be adding liquid smoke. This one's a hickory flavor. I didn't realize this existed until I got a recipe for a barbecue sauce. And I'm sure you saw that one from before. You only need like maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little dab. But you just add this in, it's going to give it a nice flavor. It's almost going to taste like barbecue chips, I want to say. So, 1 dab of this. Ooh. Yep, bacon and hickory chips or barbecue chips. I'm telling you, this is the secret. Just add that in. Okay, this is smelling really good now. I don't know if my footage had messed up before, but just to reiterate, sprinkle like the equivalent of 1 teaspoon of dried basil and the equivalent of maybe 1 teaspoon or less of the smoked hickory flavor. Ooh, and then you're going to be ready to chow down soon. Alright. So time to chow down on this lovely little tuna casserole. And no, this is not going to be my legit reaction because I've actually made this before. Full disclosure. But I still want to show you that you can make simplicity out of just the most basic of ingredients. Aw, yeah. Yeah, that hickory does wonders for this stuff. So that's going to be my meal for a couple of days. I think I need to top up with 1 more brew. I can handle it. It's hump day. And I'm not overdoing it. So my next one is going to be from Belle Gueule, the Houblon IPL, or Houblon India Pale Lager. Frankly, I think that's an oxymoron. Because when you think IPA, you think hoppy. So if you associate it like that, you're thinking Houblon, Houblonné, so it's like hoppy. I'll be like someone with the name Hammond from his mother's side, his father's side, and then you jokingly call him Hammond. I wish I was making that up, but that's a legit thing. Look up the band Jethro Tull and you'll see that piece of trivia too. Gotta love this stuff. Nice and light. And now, time for the hops. So there you go. I'll admit, I wasn't even thinking of vlogging this kind of stuff, but I thought, fuck it, let's entertain everyone and entertain myself. So thanks for watching, everyone. This was another edition of Wandering Yuki Cheese Cafe. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, hit a like, leave a comment, and of course, spread cheddar and don't dream it's over. Peace, y'all.